Hello, this is Kelly with UltimateMotorcycling.com. This is the 2018 Zero SR electric motorcycle. And if you have a few minutes to tag along, I'll give you my thoughts on this bike. The SR was first introduced in 2014, so this is the 5th year of the model, and the SR is the higher performance brother to the Zero S. First off, let me say a few words about the bike's range, as that's usually everybody's question about an electric vehicle. The answer is your mileage may vary. It really depends on how you ride the bike, what mode you're in, whether there's elevation changes on your ride. Even the outside temperature can affect the battery. So it really depends. What I can say is that on my daily commute, my trip's about 35 miles round trip. And some days when I get home, I've used up 30% of the battery. Other days I've used up 40% of the battery. Same route. What's the difference? Maybe I've been riding more aggressively. Maybe I never put it into the eco mode. I might have even jumped off the freeway and just tooled around on the surface streets for a few exits. So really, it depends. Now, Zero's website claims you can get up to, and that's the key word, up to 179 city miles, or about half as many, about 80 on the freeway. And if you do a little bit of both, they say about 120 miles. Again, that's under most optimal conditions, which is going to include the eco mode. I'll say a bit more about the battery and the range later, but let's talk about riding the bike, because really, that's what it's all about. Now, if you haven't had a chance to ride an electric motorcycle yet, you're missing out. It is such a unique experience. It's unlike any bike you've ridden with an internal combustion engine. The usual auditory cues of riding a motorcycle just aren't there. So the sound of the engine at idle, the sound as it shifts gears, that whine when it's in the higher RPMs, the brat when you blip the throttle, none of that's there. Nor is the feel of the engine. All the explosions of gas and air, the vibration, the mechanical sounds of the gears changing, none of that is present in an e-bike. Instead, it's this quiet swoosh. Now, it's not silent. It would be disingenuous to say it was silent, but it's quiet enough that a distracted pedestrian will walk right in front of you. You have a totally different feeling under you when you twist the throttle. It's this steady forward propulsion, completely linear. There's no momentary interruption as you shift gears. It's just straight acceleration, and it's fast. I drive a Fiat 500e electric car when I'm not on the bike, and it's that same instantaneous feel. You can pretty much out-accelerate anything from a stop, and it's really a heady feeling, and it takes more discipline to keep your speed under control than when you're on a similarly powered internal combustion engine. There's just something about being able to accelerate so effortlessly without the underscore that's part of the motorcycle experience. Truly, it gives me the sensation of flying, but not like when MotoGP's Nick Harris used to say, they're absolutely flying. Not that kind of flying. That involves the combustion of air and gas, pistons moving. This whole iron beast underneath you is alive. On an e-bike, there's nothing there. It's just this quiet whir. It's a surreal experience the first few times until you get used to it. And in some ways, it feels more dangerous. So yes, it's like truly flying. That quiet swoosh as 116 foot-pounds of torque propels you forward. And yes, I did say 116. And as an aside, the bike is easy enough for a novice rider. but I would recommend the eco mode to a novice until they get used to just how responsive that throttle is. It's really easy to over-accelerate from a stop. Now the eco mode is not slouchy. It still has some nice get up and go, but the response is more moderate. It's measured, and that's to preserve the battery's range. So top speed in the eco mode is capped at 70. Switching between the modes is quick and easy. You can do it on the fly. Just roll off the throttle and tab through the three modes, Sport, Eco, and Custom, with a switch on the right handlebar. The Custom mode allows you to set up various aspects that affect the bike's performance and thus range. So top speed, maximum torque, max regen, and regen braking. All of those things can be adjusted using the Zero app, which you can download onto your smartphone. And also using the Zero app, you can easily update the firmware on the bike. When you're in the Sport mode, the top speed is a claimed 102 miles per hour. I did manage to crack triple digits one night on the way home, but I quickly rolled off, didn't want to attract any attention. I will say the bike is totally stable at top speed. It is a bit disconcerting going that fast almost silently. It's kind of like the Jetsons. The Zero SR has excellent tires, Pirelli Diablo Rosso 2s. They add total confidence to riding fast, as do the brakes. They're well matched. There's just a single 320 disc up front, but it's fully capable of hauling the 414-pound SR down quickly, and there's no nasty bite at the lever. Yes, fully aggressive riders may want a little more power at their right hand, but most will be pretty satisfied. The rear disc also has good feel and is useful, and the SR comes stock with ABS. Now let's talk about suspension. It's pretty darn good. The shower fork and shock are fully adjustable, so you've got spring preload, compression, and rebound damping to work with. The SR handles everything I've ridden over really well. So from around town, bumping over railroad tracks, deteriorating local asphalt, expansion joints, big expansion joints on the freeway, it's quite good. It's a little on the firm side, but it's comfortable, and most importantly, it's predictable. As for the ergonomics, the Zero SR is really comfortable. There is a little bit of a sporty forward lean to the bars, but it's pretty much an upright ride. The seat's really comfortable, almost has a catcher's mitt feel to it, and there's a nice berm to brace yourself against when you have those fast accelerations from a stop. You can also get a really nice grip on the bike with your knees, very comfortable. The SR is smallish without being cramped, and I'm able to get flat-footed on it with my 30.5-inch inseam. The bike is a great lane splitter. Just remember, drivers can't hear you coming, so be on your toes. So back to the range issue. The SR comes with the ZF 14.4 battery. You can add on a power tank module which will extend that range to a claimed 223 in the city or 136 highway miles. Or the other option is you can add on a charge tank module, and that allows you to charge the bike faster. Without any options, if I run the battery all the way down, I'm going to need overnight to charge the battery back to full capacity. If I use the charge tank module, which is what's on this test bike, I can charge up at one of those level 2 charge stations that you see around town for the electric cars, and that will give me almost a full charge in a couple of hours. So ultimately what one has to consider is what kind of riding you want to do. If you can make the range work for you, the Zero SR is an absolutely fantastic commuter, and it's so much fun. And I don't miss going to the gas station. Also, there's pretty much no maintenance to be done on the electric bike. And finally, you get a nice response when you're on an electric motorcycle, especially from people who don't really like motorcycles. When they see it, they give an approving nod or thumbs up. So there you have it. This is the 2018 Zero SR electric motorcycle. Absolute blast, so much fun to ride. Check it out when you have a chance. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Catch you next time.